Assalamualaikum. This is Sajnin Jahan from University Selangor. Today we have organized a free training session of ICT training based on how to create a website using Bootstrap. So today basically is our third session about the basic introduction on PHP, which I have used in my Bootstrap website. So basically today's topic will be based on the database. So in the database, I have used PHP. In the database, I have used the PHP coding for the database. So today basically will be our third session about the basic of the PHP. And I'm very glad that my organization, that is ComNet, Center for Community Engagement, has organized this free training session for the students of IT background. And I would like to welcome all of our participants that have joined in today's ICT training. Now, our director of ComNet, who has organized this ICT training, has sent us a welcoming speech. So let's hear from him.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to the organizer who have tried to organize ICT training. Let's design a website using Bootstrap. First of all, I would like to express my congratulations to our beloved instructor, Ms. Sajnin Jahan, who is very committed to provide a training module to make sure this program success. To the participant who took the time to follow this training, hopefully you'll be able to learn new and useful knowledge, inshallah. And on behalf of University Selangor, UNICEL, especially our unit, Center for Community Engagement, ComNet, we would like to say our commitment in community education so that more children, youth, and also senior citizens can explore new knowledge and do something for their community. So from this event, of this program, we really hope that you can apply to your own community, your own organization or society to develop their own website, inshallah. So finally, I wish you a happy study and see you again in the future. I hope you enjoy to learn about programming using Bootstrap. Inshallah, Ms. Sajnin will teach you, will guide you. If you have any question or problem, you just ask Ms. Sajnin. They will help you, inshallah. I really appreciate and I'm very happy that Sajnin gave this idea to organize this ICT training and focus on the Bangladeshi participant. This is our first experience to organize outside from the Malaysia participant, especially for ICT training. Inshallah, we hope you can learn together. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thanks to our director of ComNet for his valuable welcoming speech about this event. So I think we can start now our ICT training based on the basic introduction of PHP, which is actually I have used for inserting the data. Okay, so basically this is the website which I have developed using the Bootstrap framework. So Bootstrap basically is a framework is similar like the CSS, which I have used the HTML, CSS, and then PHP for the database. So this website is actually fully developed by the Bootstrap. So the framework, all the framework is based on the Bootstrap. So here is the home page. This is the home page of my website. So basically this is the demo, that is society management system. Basically this is I have developed only for the training purpose. So I developed this system very simple way for you to understand. So basically we have developed this system, and we will train the system into several sessions. Like our first day was the introduction to basic HTML. Second day was introduction to basic CSS. Third day was the introduction of basic PHP, and the fourth session that will be tomorrow is the Bootstrap website, fully Bootstrap website. So I will focus on the PHP today, that is the database. So this is the event section. Here I have added several profile card. Then this is the news feed, news section, and this is the membership for any of the company that can add this system or that design to their website or to their system. And then we have the contact us form. So basically I will teach how we can do the contact us form based on the PHP before end of the ICT training program. So now we can start. So basically, actually, first of all, I would like to provide some brief description about the programming language. So basically, programming language is a computer language programmers that use to develop software programs, scripts, or other sets of instruction for computers to execute. Although we have many languages, all the languages actually share, all the languages have actually its own syntax. And once a developer learns the languages, rules, syntax, and structure, they write the source code in a text editor or in the Notepad text editor. We have several types of text editor for us to execute the program to a web browser. So then the web programmer often compiles the code into machine language, and that can be understood by the computer. So basically this is the simple definition of the programming language. So we have different types of programming language. So if you are interested in developing a program or considering the following languages, you can use C programming, C#, C++, Java, Python, Prolog, Laravel. And if you are interested in just creating or maintaining database, so you can follow the Fox Pro, MySQL, SQL database, Visual Fox Pro, then the Firebase, then the MongoDB. Firebase and MongoDB basically is the cloud storage database, no SQL database. There is no SQL database in the Firebase and MongoDB. Basically, this is the cloud storage database, so that you don't need to store your data in your device. You can use the cloud for your database. And if you are interested in creating web pages and creating application, web application or other internet related tasks, so then you have to use HTML, Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python, uh, and so on. So basically HTML, CSS, HTML actually is actually the structure of the web page. Without the HTML, we cannot do anything. We cannot create our website. So basically this is very important for us to develop a system. So now we will start our PHP. So basically what is actually PHP? PHP is actually a server scripting language and a powerful tool for making dynamic and interactive web pages. So using PHP, you can also create your website also, not just the database. You can also design your website. And PHP is actually widely used, free and efficient alternative to competitive such as Microsoft ASP. And PHP stands for PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. PHP is widely used open source scripting language, and PHP scripts are executed on a server, and it's free to download and use. And it's actually called the hypertext preprocessor. And then actually what is the PHP file? Because you have to if you write down the PHP code, then you have to mention the source. I mean, you have to name your database or your what we call it. Just you have to, if you want to design, like if you want to design a website using HTML, so you have to save the file .html. Then if you want to design your database using CSS, then you have to put, or you have to save the file .css. So PHP is same like this. So all the PHP code are executed on a server, and the result is returned to the browser as HTML. And PHP files have the default extension that is .php. So you have to save your file .php. So that will be declared that this file is a PHP file. Now, what can PHP do? Basically, PHP can generate dynamic page content. PHP can create, open, read, write, and close files on the server. PHP can collect the data, and it can send and receive cookies, and PHP can add, delete, modify data on your database. PHP can restrict users to access some pages on your website, and PHP can encrypt your data. So basically, most of the developers are using PHP also for developing their system, for developing the website basically. So why actually we should use PHP? PHP actually runs in various platforms like Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, and PHP is compatible with almost all servers used today, like Apache. And PHP supports a wide range of databases. So with using the PHP, you can store a lot of database in the PHP, because PHP using MySQL database, so there are lots of code, lots of data can be stored in the PHP file. And PHP is actually free, so you just simply download it from official PHP source resources, that is www.php.net. And PHP is actually very easy to learn and runs efficiently on the server. And now the latest version of PHP is 7. So PHP 7 is actually much faster than the previous popular stable release PHP 5.6, and PHP 7 has improved error handling. PHP 7 also supports the type declaration for function arguments, and it supports new operation also. Now, how we can install the PHP? Basically, what do we need to start using PHP? You can find a web host with PHP and MySQL support, install a web browser, web server on your PC, and then install PHP and MySQL. And if your server has activated support for PHP, you do not need to do anything. You just create some PHP files .php, and then place them in your web directory, and the server will automatically first them for you, and you do not need to compile anything or install any extra tools, but you have to install the XAMPP. So XAMPP is this one. So this one XAMPP. So where you can find it, you just search XAMPP. Okay, so here you just click on the download XAMPP Apache Friends. So here you can see the PHP file. So from here you can download the PHP file. So then it will look like this. After installing, you can see like this. So you must have to press on the start menu, start button for Apache and start button for MySQL. Without press on the start button, you cannot store your data, or you cannot put anything, you cannot do anything, you cannot store, or you cannot create the database. So it's very important to start both of Apache and the MySQL. So this is very important. And also you have to go to the XAMPP. So this is the PHP myadmin. So basically this is the one we will store all the data in here. So this is actually the local host PHP myadmin. So here all the systems data will be gone there. So so later on I will explain this, how we can insert the data in here. Later on I will explain. So now, so basically this is how we can install the PHP, that is XAMPP and the local host. So then the PHP syntax. Now talk about the PHP syntax. So a PHP script is actually executed on the server, and the plain HTML result that is sent back to the browser. Basically, PHP syntax is actually a PHP script can be placed anywhere in the document. So the a PHP script starts with this sign, I mean this symbol, less than symbol, and then question mark, then PHP. So this is actually the what we call the PHP tag. So this is actually PHP tag. So inside this tag, I mean this line, you have to code, or you have to write down your code in here. So that will be executed in PHP extension. And the default file extension for PHP is .php. You must have to save the file .php. An PHP file normally contains HTML tags and some PHP scripting code. And below, later on, I will explain this. We have an example of a simple PHP file with a PHP script, and that uses a built-in PHP function, that is echo, to output the text hello world on a web page. So what is actually echo? Echo actually will show the output. So if you do not write down echo in before the quotation of your output, then your output will not display. So this is very important, the echo statement. So basically what we have to do, this is the very basic PHP code. First of all, I don't have HTML. Then this is the HTML5 documentation declaration, and then HTML tag, and then body tag. Inside the body tag, you will code, or you will write down your PHP code. So here you can see the my first PHP page. So this is basically the heading one. So after that, hello world is actually the PHP code, or PHP output where we use the PHP extension. So this is actually the tag of the PHP. So in echo, after echo, you will inside the quotation, you will write down what you want to display in your web page. So hello world, we want to display the hello world into our web page, or into our website or web browser. So hello world. So if you just put only the hello world, so your PHP file or your hello world will not display without the echo statement. So echo statement is very important to put, because it actually declares the output. And then you will, as usual, you will close the body tag, you will close the HTML tag. Then actually we'll talk about the PHP sensitivity. In PHP, keywords like if, else, while, echo, etc., etc., classes, functions, and user defined functions are not actually case sensitive. So you will see that there are three types of echo statement. All are actually equal. Like if you just if you just write down the echo word with capital letter or with small letter, it will not changes anything. It will not changes anything. It will just display the output what you have write down inside the quotation. So you can see that the first line echo statement, in the first line we wrote down the echo all capital letters. Then the second line we wrote down the hello world all small letter. Then the third line we wrote down the echo word in capital letter and also in the small letter. So uh, that doesn't change anything because it's not case sensitivity. And then you will close the body tag, you will close the HTML tag. Okay. So hello world, this is actually because of the echo statement. So here this is the actually output the PHP, how we can start our PHP code. So this is the tag. So you must remember the tag, PHP tag. And then we have the comments in PHP. Actually there are so many tutorial based on PHP. I will just teach you on the basic. Later on I will show you how we can insert the data, how we can create the data later on. So I'll just focus on there, and now I will just teach the basic of the PHP. And then a comment in PHP, actually comment in PHP code is a line that is not executed as a part of the program. It is only purpose is to be read by someone who is looking at the code. Basically why we use the comments. Basically comments is for other programmers to understand. If you just send your code or your program to other programmers, maybe he will not understand. So for better understanding, the comment will help the user or the programmer that what you have written in the next line. So it will tells the programmer or the user what you did in the next line or what you are going to do in the next line. So basically comments is very important, and comments can remind you of what you were thinking when you wrote down the code. PHP supports several ways of commenting. So there is two types of comments. So here inside the code, inside the tag of the PHP, so here you can see the slash. You just put two slash, and that will make the comment. That will make the comment section, and that will not changes anything. And you can also put the slash. Sorry, you can also put the hash. This is the another comments of PHP file. So you can either use the slash, two slash, and you can use the hash for your comment section. And then you just simply close your body tag and you just close your HTML tag. So basically this is the comment of PHP file. Then we have the variable, PHP variables. That variable can have a short name like X and Y, or a more descriptive name like age, car name, total, volume. So actually there are so many variable you can put in the PHP file, and the rules of variable is actually variable start with the $sign and followed by the name of the variable, and a variable name must start with a letter or the underscore or underscore character, and the variable name can be start with a number, and a variable name can only contain the alphanumeric characters and underscores, that is A to Z. A variable can use and 0 to 9, and also the underscore. So a variable can be declared underscore A to Z later, alphanumeric letter also, and the underscore also. 0 to 9 also can be also variable, and variable names are case sensitive. So you must remember that you see that here you can see the age, $H. This is the small letter, all the small letter H, and this is the all capital letter H. So although the meaning is same, but there are the two different types of variable. So this is the another variable and this is the another variable. So there's huge differences between these two variables, although the meaning is same. So you just remember that PHP variable names are very case sensitive. So when you write down your code, you must remember what you wrote down your Visual Code Studio in the PHP file and what you wrote down in your HTML body. Then the declaration, creating or declaring PHP variables. So here is an example, a simple example. So creating PHP variables in PHP, a variable starts with a $sign, as I said already. $sign is the variable and followed by the name of the variable. So basically here you can see dollar inside the PHP tag, you can see $txt. So that is $txt is a variable, $x is a variable, and $y is a variable, and this is the value. Hello world is the value, then 5 is the value, then 10.5 is the value. So basically after the execution of the statement above, the variable x the variable $txt will hold the value of hello world. So dollar x will hold the value of 5, $y will hold the value of 10.5. And then the echo statement, why we are using the echo statement? Because we want to display the output of hello world, 5 and 10.5. So that's why we are using this one, echo $txt. We wrote down here the $txt because txt will represent the hello world. So we don't need to write down the hello world here. You just directly write down only the variable, because this variable is the hello world, so it will print the hello world directly. And then the BR tag, we put here the BR tag, that is the break that will go on to the next line. BR tag is the break tag. And then we are now we want to display the x variable, that is this one, $x, that is 5. So you just put the $x, so that will print the value 5. You don't need to write down 5. And then we have put the break tag again to go to the next line. So here we will put the $y, that is 10.5. So for to display the 10.5 in our web page, so you just put the $y. So $y will display the value of 10.5. So this one. And then you don't forget to put the semicolon, and then you close the PHP tag, that is question, that is question mark, and then greater than sign, and then you close the body tag and HTML tag. So, and you must remember that when you assign a text value to a variable, put quotes around the value. And unlike the other programming languages, PHP has no comment for declaring these types of variable, and it's created the moment you first assign a value to it. So basically this is the declaring the variable, how we can declare the variable. So you just declare the variable, or you just display the variable, only just put the $sign and the variable name, that is txt, that is x variable, that is y variable. So we don't need to write down the hello world or 5 or 10. So after the echo statement, you just directly put the variable name. And now this is another variable. The PHP echo statement is often used to output data to screen. And this is the following example. This is the another one. Like we want to display, like here, txt, $txt is another variable. So initial comment is here the $txt is holding the value of initial comment, and echo is actually I love. In echo is actually what echo will print the value of the output. So echo I love $txt. So in here you see we didn't write down the initial comment, because because here we already put the variable of the initial comment. So what is the variable of the initial comment? Our initial comment variable is the $txt. So you don't need to write down the whole thing. So you just simply write down I love txt. So $txt will print the value initial comment. So like this. So it will print the value. The output will be like this. So this is the another example of the declaring variable, the output. And then as usually close the body tag and HTML tag. And then we have different type of data types also. Variable can store data of different types, and different data types can do different things. PHP supports the following types of data, that is string, integer, float, floating point numbers, also called double, and then boolean, and then array, object, null, resource. And PHP string, a string is actually is a sequence of characters like hello world, and a string can be any text inside quotes, and you can use single or double quotes. Next slide, there is another example. The next same thing, this is actually same thing like here. This is the string actually, like hello world is the string, hello world is the string. So here I put the hello world, hello world. So this hello world is holding the value or variable of $x, and this hello world is holding the variable of $y. So in echo will print the value of the $x variable, and echo will again will print the value of $y variable. So in the display, so you can see the right side hello world, hello world. So in the echo statement, what I said before, echo statement will print the value. So after echo, you write down what you want to display in your web page. So we wrote down here $x, so that will print hello world. And then in here we have put the $y, so that will print the value of $y. So that is hello world. And then we have the PHP integer also. An integer data type is actually a non-decimal number between -2, 147, 486, and so on. And the rules of integer actually work. An integer must have at least one digit. An integer must not have a decimal point. Integer can be either positive or can be also negative. An integer can be specified in decimal, base 10, hexadecimal that is base 16, octal that is base 8, and binary that is base 2 notation. And we have the float, PHP float. Float is actually this one. So also to declare the float variable in PHP file, what you have to do, the additional is the var_dump. So if a float, that is floating point number, is a number with a decimal point or a number in a exponential form. So in the following example, $x is a float. Basically, the $x is a float, and the PHP that is var_dump function returns the data type and the value. So this is actually will print the value of this one. Like here we put here 10.365. So this will print the var dump. So this is actually the output. This is actually the output of, because for the floating variable, for the floating types of number, you have to put the var_dump. So without declaring this one, you cannot print the variable of the floating in PHP. So then as usual, you just put the variable name, that is the $x. So $x will print the value 10.365. So like this. So this is the output of this code. And then PHP echo and print statement. So with PHP, there are two basic ways to get output, at echo and print. So in this tutorial, we use echo actually, and we can also print, we can also put the print as an output. In almost every example, we can actually either put the echo and also the print also we can use. And so basically echo and print are more or less the same, and they are both used to output the data on the screen. So you can use either echo or also either print also, and the differences are small actually. Echo has no return value while print has a return value of 1. So it can be used in expressions. Echo can take multiple parameters, although some uses is rare, while print can take one argument. And echo is marginally faster than the print, so that the most of the programmer used the echo statement for their output, for display their output, because echo is more faster than the print. So here, this is the another statement of the PHP echo statement. So here you can see that there are four types of output, that we used echo. So in the last one, the first three is the similar like the previous one I already described. The last one is actually, you see, we can also print the value like this, just inside the quotation, inside quotation, inside quotation, inside quotation, inside quotation. We separated the line, we separated the words, but it will display all the words in a sentence like this one. This string was made with multiple parameters like this string was made with multiple parameters. So basically there will be no changes if we separated the words of the sentence. So we can also use either, or also use either. So you can also if you want to make the code more complex, then you can use also this one, like quotation, like you can separate all the word, but in the end it will not changes anything like the previous one, like this one. So we can use either this or either this. And then we have the PHP database that is MySQL. So with PHP you can connect and manipulate databases, and MySQL is the most popular database system used with PHP. Basically PHP use the MySQL database, and this is a database that used on a web, and this is the database system that runs on a server, is deal for both small and large applications. And also MySQL is very first, reliable, and easy to use. And MySQL is standard SQL and compiles on a number of platforms, and that is free to download and use. Like I already displayed to you how we can install the MySQL, that is phpMyAdmin and XAMPP software. And then MySQL compiles on a number of platforms. So, and it's also free to download, and it's developed and distributed and supported by Oracle Corporation. And the data in a MySQL database are stored in a table. So all the data will be stored in a table. So if you want to create the database in a table, it's very suitable. We use the MySQL database. And a table is a set or is a collection of the related data, and it consists of the columns and row. So in the MySQL there have the columns and also rows, and the database are useful for storing information categorically. Like you can separate your data, your company's data also. Like a company may have a database with the following tables, like employees, like you can put the employee salary, you can put the products number of products, you can put the customer's name, you can put the order's name. So you definitely have to use the column and rows, so that you have to use the MySQL database. And this is the PHP Connect MySQL. So this is how we can connect the PHP to MySQL. So basically you have to open a connection to MySQL, and before we can access data in MySQL database, we need to able to connect to the server. So basically you have to go to your local host, and then this is actually the server name, the variable, actually the variable. So localhost variable name is server name. Here username, and this username is the variable name is $username. and passwords username is $password. So, and then you will check the connection. You'll check the connection, like you create the connection. So con means the connection, that is the short form of the connection. Then you put the new MySQLi. Then in here you will put the column name, like you want to create the column like new name, password, address, email. So you put here, and then you check the connection, like check if connection is failed, then you have to put these types of code. If connection is successful, then it will display this one. So in echo will display the connected successfully, that database is connected successfully. So this is the database we are going to create. Let's create database in PHP. So first of all, what actually we need to do, basically we have to go to the PHP myadmin, that is the local host myadmin. So here you put your preferable database name, and then you click on create. Oh, before going there, you put in the left side you see the new. So you click on the new, then you will be able to see the database name. So you put here your preferable database name, then create. After that, after creating the database, another page will display like this. So this name is actually what? This name is actually the table name. So this is the table name. Sorry, this is actually the uh, database table name, and this one is actually the database name, and this is the table name, database table name. And you here, and in here you put how many column you want to create. So you put either 3 or 5 or 6, anything. Then you click on the go option, and in here basically this is very important, important to insert the data. Basically this is the creating the database and creating columns and rows. So later on I will directly do for you, for your better understanding. I will live this one, and this is the database we will create. So contact us form we are going to do. So basically there will be a name, full name, there will be email, there will be phone number, there will be message also, and then at last the submit button. So now, and this is the data entry on PHP myadmin. So there are several data I put already before this. So this is the data storage. So now what we have to do, so this is my Visual Code Studio. So I have used the Visual Code Studio for my code to execute to a web browser. So basically this was the database. This was the database. So this is the contact.php, that is this one. Okay, so this one is actually we are going to design. So here we have the full name, then email, then a phone number, then message, and then submit button. So in here I put some CSS file there. So I'll not explain about the CSS. So here you can see there is the some HTML code for this database, because without the HTML structure you cannot design your database. So here you just create a row and then column, and then here is the h1 tag, and then the panel body and the form action. This is actually very important, the form action, that is post. So you have to connect the post, I mean you have to connect your database file to your MySQL database. I mean this, in the PHP file admin, because if you do not connection your database, I mean your file database name with your HTML body or PHP body, PHP file, then your database will not store there. So this is very important form action, that is connect.php, which we are going to send as a post method, to our MySQL file. So this is very important. And then we have here the panel body, that is div class we have created. Then we created the class for the name id is the name. And then we have the another id attribute, that is for the email. Then we have the another attribute for the number, type number, that is id will be the number. Then we have another type of attribute, that is message. Then we have, at last we have the submit button. We have the submit btn primary. This is the submit option. So this is actually the HTML file, I mean HTML documentation. I'm not going to explain about this because we already done the HTML, how we can create a form using HTML in our first session. So I'll just focus on the PHP. So basically this is the PHP file. So this is the PHP extension, connect.php or contact.php we have. So we have here is name. So the name we are going to send as a post method. And then the email we also is going to post this to our MySQL database. And the number, we put here the post as a variable because we want to send this number as a post method. And then we put here the $_post message. This one is also we are going to send into our MySQL database into post method. So that this is very important. So in here $name is the variable, $email is another variable, then $number is another variable, then $message is another variable. Then we will create the database connection, that is $con, that is $connection, the short form of the connection. Then you put the new MySQLi. So in here you will declare your localhost address, then your root, then the password if you have any password for your localhost. So you don't have any password, so just blank there. Then the contact is what? Contact is actually our database name. So like here you can see here, so contact is our database name. Actually contact is our database name, so we put here the contact. And then if the connection error, then it will check the message connection failed. So that this is the code for the connection failed. Else, if else your connection is okay, then you set up your table, database table. That is our database table is what? In contact us, in contact our database table is contact us. Contact us is our database table. So you put here, insert into table, so which table we have? Our table name is contact us. So this one is our table name, and this is contact is our database name. So database name will be there after the localhost, and the database table is there. Database table will be there. So insert, we are going to insert the database, this table, contact us table. So contact us table. After that you declare, or you declare the variable, that is name. We declare the column. So we have how many columns? We have 1 2 3 4 columns. That is name, you see, that is name, then is email, then number, then message. So here message. So we put all the column name here, and then the values. So values is why we put here the question mark, because we have 1 2 3 4. So there will be 1 2 3 4 values. 1 2 3 4 values. So for declaring the values, it will be like this. It declares as a question mark for the values, and then you close that connection. prepare connection. So this is the preparation, prepare the connection, to prepare the connection. So this is how we have to code. And then we have the bind firm. So this is actually what SSIS. S means string and I means integer. So why we put here SSIS? S means S is for first one, like here S is for first one. First one is our name. So name is actually string. So we put here the first one is S. S is the short form of the string. And then email also string. So we put here the second one also S, because the email also string. Then the third one is the number. Number is actually the integer. So we put here integer I. Integer short form is I. Then we have the message. Message is actually what? Message is actually integer. Message is actually string. So we put here string. So this is, so that's why we are using here SSIS, because this one string, email is a string, number is integer, and message is string. And then you put your column name, that is your variable name, dollar name, dollar email here, dollar number here, dollar message. So this is the integer, this is the variable of the PHP. And then you execute the code. So to execute the code, you have to write this one example 10 stmt. So this is the execution of the PHP file. And then echo is what? Echo is actually the output statement. What output will display after you input your data. So after you successfully input your data, your web page will show registration successful, then you close all the things, then you close the connection, then you close the stmt, that is the connection of the PHP, and then connection we have to be closed also. So this is how we have to code the PHP for the database. And then, so this is the PHP. So you must remember that you save the file .php, and then you have to create a HTML file, because without the HTML file we cannot create this one. You cannot create like this. You cannot create like this. So here we have used HTML, here we have used the PHP. So this is very much important. So now we are going to our database. So here I will show you how we can create the database. First of all, you click new. Okay, let's take 2 minutes break. After that, we'll start again. Okay, so now what we have to do, we are now going to create a database. So how we can create a database? So you click on the new option, new. So after new, then you will, it will bring here you. So here I like we will you will create a database for the contact form. So as I have already the contact form here, so I'm not going to do the contact form again. So I will just change the form contact form. Then you press on the create, and then here we put here the message. This is our create, this is our table name of the contact form. Then here we will create 5 columns, and then you press on the go option, and then here I put here the ID. So ID will be actually the primary key. So ID I want to set it primary key. So primary key is this one. Okay, so you set the primary key ID as a primary key. Then you put here the name. So name will be actually the varchar. So here I want to set up the length 50. Then we will next one will be email. Email will be also the varchar, not integer. Then here will be, I want to put it 50 character, 50 lengths. Then here what we have to create, you must remember that what you have put in here. So this is not okay, this one. So we put here name, email, number, and message. Name, email, number, and message. So you must remember the is it capital word or is it small letter? So you must remember because this is very case sensitive variable. The dollar variable of the PHP file is very case sensitive. So you must remember the name spelling. You must remember the name spelling or the variable spelling actually. So here we put the name, N is capital letter, and the other rest of the letter is small letter, and the all is small letter, email, number, and message. So you must remember this one. Okay, so here we put a name name was capital letter, not this one, name, email, number, message. Okay, number. Then here we have number. Number will be integer. Number will be integer. Number I want to say 20, and then the message will be varchar data type. Message I want to put here 200. Okay, we done the column. So this is how we have to create a column table, create a table for the database of contact form. So this is actually the structure: ID, name, email, and number, and message. Then you save the file. Okay, so your database has created successfully. ID, name, email, and password. So if you want to key in the data into this file, so how we can put the data? Just simply press on the local host, this one, local host. Okay, here I put one of the participant name is Maimona. So I put here Maimona name. Maimona. Then the email I can set up maimona@gmail.com. Then the phone number, like random phone number I put, then message, hey there. Then you click on submit. Then it will show the registration successfully. You see registration successfully. Then you go to your local host. So then, okay, so here you can see the maimona@gmail.com. Hey there. So Maimona's profile has been successfully added to our database. So this is how we can add our database and we can code our database. So basically that's all for today. So this is basically our PHP database, how we can create a PHP file, how we can create a database based on the PHP. You can either use also the what we call the NoSQL database also you can use, but NoSQL database has mostly they don't have the columns, lots of columns or lots of rows. So if you want to create a database using the column, like a column and row, then you should use the PHP file, that is MySQL file, MySQL programming actually. MySQL programming, because that will be easier and that will be very suitable for your database, because you are creating your database using column and rows. So that's most important. So there is one thing that you must remember, the database name here. So if you put here the contact is the database name, so you have to put the contact in here. So you must remember this one. And if you want to, and this is the table name of the database, contact as is our database table name. So you must remember that you put here the table name correctly. And then, so this is basically the very important thing for you. And another important thing is you remember the variable spelling. If you mistake here, like if you put here um, the small letter, like the name all small letter, then it will be displayed as wrong, or it will display as connection failed or something like that. It will display actually the connection error. And you also remember this one also, you also remember the string, integer type, is it string or is it integer. And you must also look at the values also, how many column here we have, 1 2 3 4. So you put here 1 2 3 4 question mark. So you must remember this one, is very important. And the variable is also important, the dollar variable for PHP is also important. Just remember the spelling, you cannot mistake in the spelling. And there is one thing that structure, in structure also you remember that your name is as in here, as in here. Email, if you put email all small letter, then you have to put all the small letter in the code editor also. So here email, number, message, all the small letter, so that you have to put the table structure also the same thing, also like the same thing. You cannot change this one, you cannot put all the capital letter or some capital letter or some small letter. It is actually case sensitive, because this is the variable of the data type, otherwise it will declare the another data type. So you must remember this one. So this was our data type. Oh sorry, this was our database actually. So I think that's all for today. I think that's all for today. Anyone want to try this database? Anyone install the software? Anyone want to try the database? No one want to try. Okay, some of you will try at home, right? Okay. If you have any question, then you can ask me. I will guide you. Anyone want to try now? The database, the creating the database in your XAMPP file. Okay, I think that's all for today, as nobody want to try. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is our last training session, ICT training, based on how to create a website using Bootstrap. So tomorrow I'll focus on just the Bootstrap website. So that's all for today. See you tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.